welcome back to Dead Money with Dan Arfin. Like and subscribe to the channel and the show, so just do it, alright? So these last couple of weeks, I've got a lot of really special hands that came up that I've been meaning to talk about. Just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I will get to some of them later. But for now, I got some other stories, just about some random things that happened. But I'm going to start with something that actually happened a few years ago. Just a random tale from the archives. One night I'm playing at South Point, and I don't remember when this was. It may have been during this 3.5-year stretch where I wasn't playing that much poker. From around the springtime of 2017 till about the end of the summer in 2020, I only played maybe 600 something hours. I don't know what it was. And I think during this time, I was playing 2-3 at South Point, which is a 600 max. And there's this guy in the game who's a lot of action. And I'm not going to say too much about anything about what he looked like or his name. So the game is really good, and I had been quiet. Not much was going on. Then I got into a hand with him where I ended up jamming the river, and I'm pretty sure I had it. And, this guy's getting to the river with a lot of garbage, and he folds. And I don't really remember who said what to who. I think maybe somebody said something to him along the lines of that I may have bluffed him. And he was just, just, being all energized and laughing, saying that there's no way I could have ever bluffed him or I would never bluff him. I think what did he say? I think he said, he would need Jesus to bluff me. I think he said something like that. And I'm going to tell you, I think it's really out of order when players start talking about other players like that at the table. I mean, I'm just minding my own business, okay? I'm quiet. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm just playing poker. And you don't hear me talking about how other players don't give any action or they could never ever have the balls to bluff and that they need Jesus to do it. The guy basically called me a pussy in front of the whole fucking table, all right? And if this is going to affect my action, that's not good, okay? So here's what I did. I don't know exactly how much money I had in my pocket. I mean, we know poker players always walk around with an unnecessary amount of cash with them. I don't know if it was $5,000. I don't know if it was $10,000. I don't know what it was. It was probably $5,000. What I did was I took all the cash out of my pocket and put it on the table and said, okay, it's if you think I don't have if you think I would never bluff you, if you think I need Jesus to bluff you, you want to go play heads up? You want to go play for all this? And I'm not fucking kidding when I say this, okay? And I am not trying to show off money. I am not trying to show off anything, okay? As a matter of fact, I never want anyone to think I have money, whether I have money or not. A lot of people are the opposite. They want you to think they have money. No. Whether I'm a billionaire or broke, I don't want people thinking I have money. There is no upside to people thinking that you have money, okay? It's all downside. Now, we know sometimes people challenge each other heads up and they don't really mean it. They're just trying to sound big and bad. I was not trying to do that. And I knew people might think I'm trying to just show my dick off when I take all this cash out of my pocket. I was bringing the money out of my pocket and putting it on the table to emphasize how serious I am about this. It's one thing to say, hey, you want to play heads up. It's nothing to put the money on the table. And on top of that, I also offered him rake back. I don't remember what I offered him. I said, I'll pay you $30 an hour to play me heads up. It was something like that. I mean, that's how fucking serious I was. And this is just how fucking pissed off I got that a guy is treating me like this at the table. You cannot say that about another player at the table. It's disrespectful, and who the fuck do you think you are talking about another player like that to everybody else in front of them? Now, there was a woman with him. She looked very young, so it probably was his daughter. I mean, I don't know. And then, they were just, just talking all this dumb shit and laughing, and she was warning me about doing that, about being followed to my car and robbed. I said, let him follow me to my car. And then at some point, one of these little white boy regs at the table, he's like, I'll play you heads up for $30 an hour. I was like, I'm not offering the deal to you. It's are you fucking this fucking idiot? It's Yeah, I'm gonna play you, some little white boy nitty reg, for $30 an hour. Yeah, this deal is offered to you the same as this spot, as this action fish who's playing every fucking hand. Oh my god. Now, and I knew players are probably gonna think I'm just trying to show off money. I wasn't trying to show off money. I pulled the money out to show this guy. No. I'm dead ass. Like, do you want to play? You want to play 510? Like, it's put your money where your mouth is. That's what I remember telling him. And people should put their money where their mouth is. If you have the fucking balls to open your mouth like that about another player, then you better be willing to play that person heads up. Because if you're not, then shut the fuck up. Leave them alone and just let them play poker. They're not disturbing anybody. And then he said he wanted to play. I was like, really? And look, I mean, say what you want about how egoistic I was being in this moment. And I'm not saying I wasn't. And I'm not saying I would do this again. But I saw this as an opportunity, okay? If I can get this whale all to myself with the higher stakes, why wouldn't I want to do that? I'm not saying I'm this heads-up expert or anything, but over the years in Vegas, I've probably gotten into about, I'd say around 20 heads-up matches, you know, when the game dwindles down and there's just you and the other guy. And I've won kind of big in most of them. I mean, I haven't won every time, but a lot of them I actually ran pretty good, and the other guy played bad, and I won whatever. I won a lot, stacked them. So he's like saying, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So I get up and I asked the floor. I was like, I said, me and that guy over there. I said, he'll start a game with me heads up at 510. I'm like, are you willing to open a table? And they said yes. And I came back to him and I said, hey, like, they said to open a game. I was like, you want to play? I'm not even like being all big and bad and macho at this point. I was saying that like, hey, so if you're serious, yeah, let's go and I'll pay you this an hour. Then he's like, no. He's like, I don't want to do it. I was like, you don't want to do it? Okay. Then I just sat back down. And I didn't like continue to mock him about not wanting to play me. I just let it go. I'd already made my point. That you're going to sit there and tell me I need fucking Jesus to bluff you. It's like, it's amazing. You know, sometimes I remember to tell myself, you don't know the background history of these players you're playing with. Just how they don't know your background history. I mean, it's like these people don't know how big I've played, what kind of experience I've had. And I don't know what kind of experience they've had, whether they're winning players or not. So, you know, it's comical to know everything I used to do back in the day, like in my 20s and early 30s when I was playing higher all the time. And now I have a guy, this whale, at the South Point 2-3 game, telling everybody that I need Jesus to bluff him. So I ended up making like nice with the guy, you know, not like buddy, but like after I left, I walked by him. I was like, hey, what's your name? He's like, I'm the coach. Just call me the coach. So I think maybe he was some football coach who was retired. I don't know. Not like pros. Maybe just sounds like this guy coached football for a long time, though. So, yeah. I mean, I've never gotten into a heads-up match where two guys, where one of them was challenging the other like this. I mean, but it's just, that was just too much for me, okay? And I think that if you do challenge somebody to play heads up, I mean, I think nothing demonstrates how serious you are about it more so than just taking the money out of your pocket and putting it on the table and showing him, look, I'm serious. You want to play or not? Like, I'm not going to pull out 5,000 and then say, let's play for one. I wanted to play him. So then the other night, I go back to South Point and I just wanted, you know, a little fix, a little quick hour fix. And it's a 2-3 game. And it was only like 5, I think it was like 6 players when I got there, or maybe 7. And then it started shrinking. First we get to 5 players, then we get to 4, then we get to 3, then we get to heads up. And I figured the game was going to break, but I asked the guy, I was like, hey, you want to play? And he said, okay. I was like, all right, well, let's play. So here's what happened. I was winning a bit at first. I mean, I was making some hands, and I got this guy down to probably about maybe 250, 300, I don't know. It seemed like I was going to stack him soon. I mean, the guy seemed very comfortable and confident in himself and with playing, but I just figured, I don't know who this fucking guy is, so I expect to be able to beat him. Then this hand happens where I raise to 12 on the button with king 4 off. He calls big blind. It comes king 7-3. Rainbow, he checks. I check back, throw in a little trap with top pair. Turn is a 10. He bets 10. I raise to 30. He calls. The 10 was a heart. There's 2 hearts now. I have the king of hearts. River's the 6 of hearts. He checks, so 8-9 got there, hearts got there. I bet small, I bet 20, and now he check raises to 60, and my first immediate thought was fold because you just hardly ever see a check raise river bluff. But it is heads up, and the guy might be getting to the end of his tank, and maybe I induce this. He might just have some silly hands. I mean, it's just curiosity got to me. I mean, I really, really just did not think he was bluffing, but I don't know. I thought I might be shown some silly hand. I call. You know what this guy had? Two pair. He had tens and threes. He turned two pair, didn't three bet the turn, and then gets this check raise in on the river, on this river card. I mean, this is like the most owned I felt like I've been in a long time. I mean, I was like hurt a little bit. I was like, holy shit. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't obvious that two pair is the best hand there. I mean, maybe it's just more like I couldn't believe that someone finally went for thin value with that type of hand. So, all right, he won that hand. Okay, not the end of the world. Then we got to another spot where I raised button with queen 4, I think, or queen 3. Yeah, queen 3 suited. I flopped an air ball. I think it was just like a jack high, or I don't know. I flopped totally nothing. I just checked back. And the turn was an ace, and it was 3 spades. I had queen 3 of diamonds. Flop was like 2 spades and a club. And then he check calls the turn, and the river is a king. He checks. I bet 2x pot. I bet 90 into 45, on something like maybe jack 9, 5, ace, king, 3 spades. I got queen 3 of diamonds. I check. He check calls. He snap calls me with just an ace. And just the way this guy was playing, it's as though this guy, like, he just seemed so confident. Like, he was just, the way he was throwing his chips in, it was just like, I was like, who is this guy? I mean, is this the best kept secret in town? The best heads up player in the city who's playing 2-3 at South Point on like a Tuesday night, or I don't even know what fucking night it was, but all right, nice hand. Then I raise the button with 10-8 off to 12 again. He calls. Flop comes 9-6-4, so I got the gut shot to the nuts. He check calls. Same thing, super confident. Turn is a queen. He check calls 35. I think the pot's up to about 120, 125 now. Same thing, super confident. River, jack. This is the second time, by the way, I've hit a backdoor and then hit a gut shot on the river. I'd hit one before for the nut straight. This one isn't the nut straight, but it's fucking 10-8. So he checks. I bet 150. He jams. Kind of shocked to hear that. I mean, it's only about another 230 more to call. I mean, okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're never, ever, ever folding this hand. I call. Oh my God, he has king 10. He had the nuts. This is just one of the most unbelievable coolers I've ever lost. Forget about the forget about the money and the pot size, just the situation. 9-6-4, he's got king 10, check calls, turns a queen, check calls, hits a jack, and I have 10-8. I mean, when he turned that hand over, I just stood up, I looked out at him, I looked at the table, I looked at my hand, looked back at him, turned my hand over, I'm like, okay, you win. The guy stacks me. So then I rebuy, and then he's telling me how he's like, my Uber is like almost here. He's like, I'm going to be leaving soon. I was like, you can leave whenever you want. All right. I was like, you don't owe me anything. I think he figured once one of us went bust, that was going to be it. But no. I ain't leaving yet. I mean, I wasn't planning on staying long, but I wasn't leaving yet. So I reload 600. Shortly after that, right after that, I raised with king deuce of clubs, flopped the nut flush, ace 6-5, and of course he just check folds. And then I get 9-7 off, raise, button, he calls. Flop was 8-5 deuce. So yeah, I got a gut shot to the nuts. He check calls, turns a queen, he check raises, fold, he shows me flop 2 pairs. So the guy was just running hot. And then a woman walks in, I don't know if it's wife or girlfriend, whatever. She says to him, she's like, well, you're playing heads up? And I was like thinking, yeah, he's doing pretty well too. I was like, oh, is this your Uber driver? So I just got to the point where, I mean, I'm stuck almost 700, and the guy is showing like he's not like terrible at heads up. I mean, as far as the hand that he stacks me in with this just complete unbelievable backdoor cooler, I mean, we know he's losing on a ton of rivers. If a 10 comes, if we both pair up, check. He's not going to win anything more. He's going to win, but I'm not betting again. If a king comes, yeah, he's going to win another big bet for me. He stacks me on the jack. He loses on every other river. I'm barreling every other river. What, you going to call me with king high, knowing he loses to bluffs? I mean, I don't know if... I'm not saying he played that hand bad. I mean, it's just... I don't know if that's the way he should play it. So, wow. I mean, you talk about getting your bell rung. So... it makes me wonder, like, was this like karma? Was karma coming back to me? Did karma come back to snake bite me for challenging that guy heads up a few years ago, pulling out at least $5,000 in cash and say, hey, let's go play. And he doesn't play. And then I get into this situation a few years later and just freaking run into a freaking buzzsaw. So, whatever. I mean, I didn't care at that point. I don't need to fucking fight this guy to the death. I mean, if I played this guy for hours and hours and hours, do I think I would win? Yes. Why? Because I'm Dan fucking Arfin. That's why. I'm not worried about a 2-3 player at South Point who might be more comfortable with heads up than most people. I'm not worried about figuring out a way to get the best of this guy, okay? I know that sooner or later I'm going to be able to put this guy in some really terrible spots because I'm going to continue to use really big sizes. And now that he knows I'm overbet bluff, once you get the guy a little rattled, once things start breaking my way for a little while, then we'll see what he does, okay? And no, I'm not giving the benefit to anybody. You're all guilty until proven innocent. You're all fish until you do something that impresses me. Now, he made a very nice check raise for value with 2 pair. That's not enough, okay? He made the nice call with top pair. That's not enough either, all right? I was in a bit of shell shock. I mean, I'll admit that. I mean, I couldn't believe what the fuck just happened. But hey, that's... I guess that's why we keep coming back, because we never know what's going to happen. You just never know what kind of crazy shit's going to get thrown at you. All right. I'll get to some more hand histories later in the week. But first, I just want to talk about what happened on this Friday night at the Wynn. That's Friday, April 3rd. So I'd been pretty quiet for a while. We got a really big fish in the game. And he was stuck, but he was on the comeback trail. He had actually just called a big bluff. He held on all in with pocket 5s on a jack-high board, and the guy had ace-king. So it falls to my button. I make it 20 with 9-3 suited. He calls the big blind. Comes queen, 7-3, and he check calls 15. And the turn is an ace. Now, 3 might still be the best hand. He could have a 7 or a queen. Thought he might check raise flop a bit with a queen. I pot, bet 70. He flashes me this little glance. I glance back at him. He looks a little nervous, but he calls. And I don't think this guy has it. So the river is an 8, and he checks. And I bet 575. I mean, there were no flush draws on the turn. And I know that sometimes going 1.5, even 2x, just isn't enough anymore. So this one I push close to 3x, and he folds pretty fast. Then I think the next button, I get king 8 of diamonds. I raise to 20. Same guy calls the big blind. It comes king 8-5. Top 2 pair, there's a flush draw. He check calls 25. Probably should go bigger, but all right. He check calls 25. Turn is a 7, 2-tone board. He checks. Now I overbet for value. Bet 135. And he's thinking and thinking and thinking. And I know he's not very strong. So he calls. And the river is gin. It's a king. And all the flushes missed. But I do know that he called very reluctantly on the turn. So I don't want to go fucking 2x on this river. I don't want to overbet the river. I don't want to lose this guy. I mean, maybe I'm wrong to think that. I'm not saying that this is correct, but this is what I was thinking. So he checks. I bet 325 into 360, I guess, and he calls. He says nice hand as he calls. And he showed he had pocket jacks. Wow. So no 3-bet pre-flop and standard call on the flop. Tough spot on the turn. And then you could see why he'd want to call the river once the king pairs and all the draws miss. I mean, I think it's... Look, if you want to throw in a flat with jacks there from the big blind once in a while, I mean, yeah, I can see that. But he should just be 3-betting. So then shortly after that, I get ace-king suited. Raised to 20 under the gun. Now this guy 3-bets me from middle position to 100. You can't 4-bet when he goes that big. But then the small blind, he calls cold. He's very deep. And he's got a lot of money, like I said. But he's a fish. He's a real big fish. He's just been running hot. So I call. Flop comes ace-10-4, 2 clubs. We check to the 3-better. He thinks a little bit and he checks. The turn is not a card we're happy to see. It's a queen, because now he might have a set. He could still have kings. He could still have jacks. Small blind checks again. I bet 150, go half pot, and now he raises me to 700. Okay, I don't think this is anything silly here. I think he's just turned his head, so I fold. He looks back at his hand, throws him in. Not too worried about that one. Very next hand, ace-king suited again. Ace-king of spades. You talk about getting aces back-to-back hands? How about getting ace-king suited back-to-back hands? That's even less likely. But all right, there's a raise to 15. I'm in the big blind. There's a call. There's another call. And then the small blind, who I just mentioned before, he 3-bets to 90. And we know that's kind of annoying because I know this guy's not 3-betting the under-the-gun raiser to this size without a big hand, but it doesn't mean he's going to want to stack off of it. And I haven't turned over anything light, so all right. I mean, look, there's nothing to talk about here. I got ace-king suited, okay? So I make it 230, cold 4-bet to 230, and now the under-the-gun raiser, who is this reg I've seen a few times the last few weeks, and, you know, he's another one of these, like, okay players. He's not an idiot. He's not very impressive. He calls the 230. I mean, goodness. I did not see that coming. And I started thinking maybe he's got kings. Maybe he's got queens. He could have the same hand. I don't think he would do that with aces. In any event, he calls. The small blind calls. So we go 3 ways. And we get a flop of ace, 8, 6, 2 diamonds. And the ace was a diamond. And the pot's got about 720. I'm not worried about either player having a flush draw. I think that's extremely unlikely. I think the small blind, when he 3-bets, he just has a lot of big pocket pairs, you know, queens, jacks, maybe 10s. Don't think he's going to have that many suited hands. But he checks. I bet 135. And the original raiser, who had flatted my cold 4-bet, calls the 135, and the other player folds. And the turn is the 6 of diamonds. So now there's a possible flush. I don't have the free roll. And I'm wondering, could this guy have ace-king with just the king of diamonds? And if so, that's not good because we're chopping and now he's got me free rolled. He's probably not going to hit it, but he does have the free roll. And this pot is close to 1,000 now. And he cannot have a flush. He cannot have a flush. I could have a flush. It's very, very unlikely. And if he has the king of diamonds, it's even less likely. Could, in his mind, I have conceivably cold 4-bet like king, queen of diamonds or king, jack of diamonds? Maybe. But I think that the likeliest hand he has is ace-king. I think we both have ace-king. If this guy has ace-queen suited, I mean, that's a huge mistake he's making, just cold calling my 4-bet, my cold 4-bet. So I'm not trying to get value from anything at this point. It's just figuring out, how do I play this spot? And I didn't tank for like super long. I mean, I was deep in thought and just going through all the options, and I couldn't make up my mind. I mean, I thought about checking. I thought about betting small. I thought about betting big. I mean, he had me covered. For me to jam, it would be about 1.5x. I mean, I'm not running into a flush though. But I thought if I rip, I can probably push this guy off half the pot. I mean, if he has ace-king suited himself and one of the other suits, that means he, of course, doesn't have the diamond. He might be afraid that I have the free roll. He might be afraid that I have ace-king with a king of diamonds and that he's now only calling just to get half this pot, knowing that 18% of the time he's going to have to double me if I have the king of diamonds. So I'm in essence repping the free roll here because it's actually easier for me to have ace-king off than him. When I cold 4-bet, I can have ace-king off, but for him to cold call a cold 4-bet, even as the under-the-gun raiser, I mean, we're already getting pretty thin here for him to be calling with anything. So I think it pushes his calling range closer to ace-king suited than it does for me. Like for him to cold call a cold 4-bet from me, he should have ace-king suited more than I should be cold 4-betting ace-king suited. And even if he does have the free roll, ace-king with the king of diamonds, even if he does have it, this is still not a spot. He's going to be very confused about what the hell is going on here. Like, what if I decided to do this with ace-8? Or what if I do have like maybe like one combination of flushes? What if I have that? I mean, all I knew is that this guy is going to be in a really, really difficult spot if I jam. So I jammed. I just saw so little downside to this. I saw so much upside. Even if he has the free roll, he's not going to hit it very often. And those are the times, and that's if he calls with it, which he might not. And I thought it was just not really that great of a chance that he even has it. Now, he did the whole card recheck during this spot. I mean, this is just one of the wildest spots I've been in ever. I mean, I couldn't make up my mind. I mean, and, the drama is building, and he folded. I mean, I'm not trying to get value from anything. I mean, what is he going to have? Pocket kings here? I mean, get out of here. I mean, I thought the chance of him having a flush was even less of him having pocket aces. I mean, God, if he had a set of aces and I'm just dead. No, I didn't think that was going to happen either. I think the guy's just going to 5-bet that hand. So I felt good about that result. Just because as I went through all the options, I thought about it and just thought this guy is just going to have such a hard time calling, even if he has the king of diamonds. It's just not going to be pretty because he's going to think, he might be thinking, well, why would he want to jam a dry ace king on this turn card? That's what I thought he might be thinking. So it just, like I said, the guy's not an impressive player. So I don't expect his thinking to be able to get to this level where he can actually figure out what I'm trying to do here. But it doesn't make any sense for me out of a full house, Why would I want to jam a boat? So this is why it was a little weird for me to do this at first, because I know it's not going to, this doesn't make any sense. I just didn't think the guy would be able to call, and I just, look, I don't know what he had, but I got the result I was looking for. Just wanted to end the hand there. But what a spot. So then our whale, who I mentioned before, the one I had bluffed with 9-3 and then got him to call me when I had king 8, he raises to 40 under the gun. Fuck. I got ace 7 of spades in the big blind. I'm kind of just hoping nobody calls because I don't plan on calling this. I mean, I know we're deep and he's bad, but it's just fuck me. I mean, ace 7 suited. It's just... So then the button calls and the small blind calls. Small blind's the fish I mentioned before. So all right, I call. And the flop is ace 10-6. 2 spades. Goodness. Check to him. Check to the whale. He bets 140 into 160. Small blind calls. I call. And I had a feeling the small blind might have a flush draw. Turn is another 10. Ugh. That counterfeits my 7. I mean, I had a backdoor straight draw on the flop. That's not going to happen now. 2-tone board. We check, and he checks back. Okay. The river is a king offsuit. Okay. Small blind checks. I check. And now the whale bets 100 into this very small pot, or very big pot, I should say. 580 it is. Small blind thinks about it and folds. I call. He just says king. I mean, I did not think I had stood a chance at all to ever win this pot. I thought maybe he's going to have ace jack, ace queen. Just doesn't want to check. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Why is he betting $100 here? He has a king. There's an ace on the flop. Both guys call. What is this fucking guy thinking? What a pleasant surprise it was to win this hand. All right, so then next hand I raised to 20 with queen 10 of spades. He calls. This Asian lady calls. I mean, she's another one who was deep, playing really bad, but running pretty good. Flop is jack 9-7, 2 diamonds. So this is a nice open ender, but annoying because there's only 6 clean turn cards for the straight to make the nuts. We check to her. She bets 65. And it's one of these spots where she probably has a good hand, but is trying to end the hand or, is really trying to protect her hand hard. Probably just has a jack. I don't think she bets this big with a flush draw. So I call. Turns an ace. Check, check. River's another 9. And it didn't really make sense for her to have a 9, but in her mind, I could have a 9 or an ace. So I think she probably just has a jack with, and that's it. I mean, or I could be wrong and she has a king high flush draw. That's possible. Probably not, but it's one more hand that she could have that queen high is not beating against. So I bet 325 into, I think, 175. No, 195. And she folds. Next hand, we got a straddle. I got king 9 of spades. I raised to 30. And we get a call from our Asian lady again. And our straddler calls. The old white man sitting on my right. Fishy. Flop comes 6, 7, 8. No spades. Small blind checks. I check. The lady bets 50. And I think she's going to bet a lot bigger than 50 if she has a real hand. The small blind calls the 50. I check raise to 250, and the lady folds, and I know that there's a good chance the man will call with like a pair open-ended or, a hand very similar to mine. I mean, he was very loose, so he could fold too. I mean, I could see him going either way. So, because he could just have like king 6 or queen 6, I mean, he might just have a weak pair with no backup. And if he sees a check raise here, he might just go away. But he calls, so I'm expecting, to this to be a pair plus type hand. Get a horrendous turn card. Horrendous. It's a 6. He checks. And if the guy has 6-5 or 6-4, or it's just I can't. I think it's too dangerous to try and bluff this hand. I mean, now I'll admit that I think I should have maybe just looked at him and tried to get a read. Did that 6 hit him or not? Does he have 7-9, 8-9, 10-8? 7-5? I just checked back. The river is another 6. Fuck me. It would be really brutal if he has ace-9 here, but I can't fucking bluff this river. How can I fucking bluff this river? How can I fucking bluff this river? How can I fucking bluff this fucking river? I just check. God damn it. He has 7-5 off. Ugh. Oh, well, I tried. So then a reg raises to 15. This same man with 7-5 off, he calls. I 3-bet to 70 with Jack-10 of diamonds. And now the guy who I ran this crazy move against with ace-king suited a couple hours earlier, at least a couple hours, he calls again. And it's he and I heads up again. The other two players fold. And the flop comes queen 8-4 rainbow with a backdoor flush draw. And I thought the pot had 150. I miscounted. It had 170. I bet 90. So I actually bet less than I would have if I had counted the pot correctly. And normally I check flop when I get a cold call behind me. Maybe I just check the whole range at that point. But this guy, he already looked a little weak. And, if he has a fucking set, that's fucking terrible. But he's going to have a lot of, just pocket 7s, pocket 9s, pocket 5s, pocket 6s. Or not pocket. Well, no, wait. What did I say the flop was? No, queen 8-5 was the flop. Yeah, so he's gonna have a lot of these pairs at whiff, and I'm not expecting him to fold to a C bet. So I bet 90 into 170. He calls, and the turn is a 4. So we got queen 8-5 4, and now I have a flush draw. So I've got big turn card here, a lot of outs on the river, and I just keep it going. I'm just gonna rep aces or kings. I just bet 375. I don't know if this guy wants to put in a lot of money with a small pair again. It's a real disaster, a massive disaster if this guy raises me, but we're just going to have to live and die with that. He's got so many hands that are going to want to fold to this turn and very few hands that are going to want to raise. So 375 is a slight overbet, and he folds. So yay. So those are all the hands from that session. And I'll get to some more of the crazy hands in a future episode, but I'll tell some other stories now. The other day, it was blind versus blind. Or no. It wasn't blind versus blind, but one player asked another player if they chop. And it wasn't like a chop situation. He was just asking him before the situation came up. Sometimes people do that. They ask, do you chop? So they know ahead of time. And the guy didn't understand what he was talking about at first. He did, but he didn't. And then it turned into this whole discussion. You think this whole conversation would have been settled in about 10 seconds, but now it's been going on for 3 minutes. Other players talking about who they chop with, who they don't. And I'm just sitting there looking out, and I'm just like, what? And that's when I decided to join the party. I was like, well, fuck, if we're going to talk about chopping for this long. I said to my neighbor on my left, I was in the 8 seat, she's in the 1. I said, I don't chop, just so you know. And then seat 7 to my right, he says, you don't chop? I was like, no, I play every hand. He asked the dealer, he's like, can I get a seat change button? He asked for a seat change button because once he found out that I don't chop. And I said to him, I was like, you're moving seats because I don't chop the blinds? He's like, yeah. He's like, is there a problem with that? I was like, no. I was like, I've just never seen anyone do that before. And it's just kind of a hostile response. He wasn't being aggressive, but he's just it was defensive when he says, is there a problem with that? It's like, dude, I'm sorry I come all the way to the casino to play poker. I don't know why. Some people, they get offended when you don't chop with them. It's like, dude, if I want to chop, I can just stay home. I didn't come all the way to the casino just to not do the thing I came to do, which is play poker. And plus, you can't win if you chop. How are you going to win if you chop? I just want to play, all right? I know how people feel about the rake and this and that. I think I can beat the rake playing blind versus blind, okay? And I just want to play. So then I said to him, I was like, well, I'm sorry if I was like, no, I didn't say I'm sorry. I asked him, I was like, does it offend you that I don't want to chop? He's like, no. He's like, it doesn't offend me. I was like, okay. Then I left him alone. Then a few days later, this guy, the Wynn has a third man walking rule, but I very rarely see it implemented. The other day, he was the third man walking, and they said they were going to pick him up. He had only left for like a minute. I mean, I thought the third man walking rule is implemented. They'll pick you up if you're gone for like 15 minutes. I mean, he had just left. 3 players had just left in the space of like 3 minutes. They're telling him, like, we're going to pick you up. He's like, I don't want to play shorthanded. Like, all right. So he gets a seat change button when he finds out his neighbor doesn't chop, and he is very adamant about not wanting to play shorthanded, even if he knows he's going to get picked up. Okay. I mean, some people are just, all right. I'm just going to leave him alone. And one other quick story before I go. I think it was a Sunday. There were only 3 games going, and the game I was in had gotten to be very short. There were like maybe 3 there were 3 players left, and then they didn't want to play, so we're just waiting. And we're waiting, and I know this is not going to take that long. Then a woman comes by with $300, and the minimum buy-in is $400. And she sits down with $300. She unracks. The dealer's about to get going, and I said, "Hold up!" I said, "It's $400." And the player to my left says, like, he's like kind of quietly saying, like, no. He's like, just let her play. I was like, no, like, this is a $400 game. I'm not letting someone bring $300 to a $400 game. Okay, I don't care that we're not going to play unless she sits with $300. It's like, I understood his point is like, either we don't play or we play with someone buying in under the minimum, and that to him it was worth it because at least we're playing. That's not worth it to me. And he starts saying to me, he's like, dude, like, I didn't come here to like argue with you. I was like, he's like, the game is going to break. I was like, I don't care if the game breaks. That's the thing. I don't fucking care if the game breaks. The minimum buy is $400, all right? Bring $400. And I'm not even saying she was trying to get over on anybody. I don't think she knew the buy-in. She just wanted to play for $300 and figured she was allowed. When we told her it's $400, what do you think happened? She pulled out another $100. But these people are just overly accommodating for people who are bringing very little money to the table. I mean, this game, it's a fucking Sunday afternoon. It's like 5 o'clock. You don't think we're going to get another few players in the next 5 minutes? I don't care how long it takes. Or if the game does break, so what? We'll all have seats soon enough. One thing I'm not going to do, though, is just bend over for these short buyers. She wasn't asking for a favor. She wasn't like, man, like, why won't you let me play? It's like, it was between me and this other player who thinks that, like, it's essential we just let this person short buy it. It's like, dude, no. Don't you want more money on the table? All right, so that's another little tiff I had with somebody, and I don't like this fucking guy, okay? Maybe I'll talk more about him later, but, fuck it. It's Saturday. Got more hands to talk about later this week. Got more hands to play today, so I'll talk to you soon, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed these stories. We'll see you next time.